Dhyanamoolam Gurumurti Pujamoolam Gurupadam Mantramoolam Guruvakam Mokshamoolam Guru Kripa. Om Shri Guruve Namaha. Hari Om Tat Sat. So meet the need. This morning, an interesting question came up. A friend of mine from the East Coast called, and his mother-in-law, real mother-in-law, by the way, not a character of our humor, she came to live with them for a while. And my friend was telling me that she made some of the remarks with which my friend says that I got little upset. Then she became mad on me. And as a result, my friend became mad on her. And as soon as he became mad on her, he started becoming mad on himself as he became mad on her. Understand the whole chain of reaction. So he wanted to know, Sonaji, what we could have done and why did it happen so. All of you can think in this direction for a minute before I put out, and later on, we may have some discussion. Very interesting thing. And while I'm narrating related material, please understand and contemplate on as to what is this anger. And then anger in reaction to an anger, and then further anger on a reaction to the reaction. Put out your own argument, and if it could have been out of your own experience, that would have been even better. And going to the anger, Sanskrit word is krodha. So, and before krodha comes the word kama. Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mad, and matsa. Translating for you, kama, desire, krodha, anger, lobha, greed, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, attraction, mother, ego, and matsa, jealousy. So we can know that the krodha, before krodha comes the word kama. So kama, desire. Think about it. But the way it gave me a chain of thoughts, and I thought, this is such a great topic for our meet the need. There is need, but we do not know. And this is our day-to-day life. So first, when my friend said that he became mad on himself, becoming angry. So I said, it is a joy to me that you became angry on your own anger on her. He was wondering, why am I saying so? And still, we will learn from it. But first I felt happy that what he observed his first anger is a reaction to her anger on him. Understand, had he not observed that he became angry, and he would have been kept on finding the reasoning that she's unrealistic, she doesn't know, she's visiting my house and blah, blah, blah. All other kind of so-called justification behind his anger. But that's not the point. The point was that he became angry on his own anger on him, on her. Think about it. So first thing is, he observed that he became angry. Years back, I don't know when, I might have gone to New Jersey. Years back, I might have been uttering Kam Krodha Lobh Moh Mat Matsar. And he must have been contemplating, so that was a joy to my heart, that even after years, we think of it and we try to analyze it. And really speaking, this is sadhana. Sadhana is just to sit quietly and don't talk anything, but let your mind keep on spinning. So it's so important that you go back to yourself. Even though his second anger was a reaction, his second anger was his reaction to his first anger. Reactions are always bad, but he could have observed and not getting mad on himself even. He could have sharpened his awareness and reminding himself that yes, she reacted, whether wrong or right is immaterial. But why do I have to become upset? Why I have to react to her reaction? And at this stage, I'm saying, forget wrong or right. Who is wrong and who is right? Let's not get into at all. Point is of reacting. Point is of not witnessing. First anger, my friends. Second anger was a witnessing to the first, but it is still that witness turned into reaction. Try to understand this little detail, very beautiful. So I so much like his witnessing, his observing himself, that he became angry. And internally he's feeling that he need not have to be angry. But then, instead of observing and learning in a discernment manner, in a discriminatory manner, viveka buddhi, okay, he became angry. So he loved that point so much. And I thought, wow, how lovely this point could be. Meet the need. And I think this particular example really justifies The title of this seminar, Meet the Need. What is the need? Really, the true need is to become aware of, but not in a reactive fashion. Becoming aware of, and if it happened 2-3 times, understandable. And why understandable? Because we have formed our habit, years of our life, years of our experiences. I'm not saying positive, negative experiences, but most of the time reactive experiences. And this kind of experiences come to us right from the childhood. All of you, some point in time, you may forget that you were also once upon a time children, but you would have time to see your own children or grandchildren growing up. And take a simple example. Take a simple example that the child started shouting, and the mother says, "Hey, John, don't shout." What will be the immediate reaction from the John? John will say, "Mom, I'm not shouting." Even that he will shout. So that kind of habit has been built into us. And our attitude is first to react negative, denying the charges. And still at a later stage, we do not change that. We do not sit quietly and think. So, observation, witnessing, and not getting into wrong or right. And do not apply this to somebody else. Don't start applying to your mother-in-law in this case. As we have learned a long time back, and we are still learning, spirituality is a singular journey. This is for you and you alone. Because who will get benefit when you don't become angry? And not only benefit from the social point of view, but your spiritual growth point of view. That will become a lot easier for contemplation or dharana, and eventually dharana turn into meditation. Otherwise, you keep on sitting quietly, keep on listening to Yog Nidras, and still our mind spins. So, that point. And now, going to a step further, why Krodha, or the anger in the first place? We all have our own standard, or sometimes I call it a standard of idealization. He might have been behaving in a certain manner, and his mother-in-law didn't like it. It was conflicting with his mother-in-law's idealized standard. And as a result, or she might have had tough days or whatever, or her body might be aching, but she became angry. When she became angry, he became angry on her anger. So how the reaction take place? But then go to the step further before anger, before Krodha, is the calm, the desire. So her idealized standard is also her desire that her son-in-law should behave in certain manner. And if we take a famous example of coffee and tea, she may think that he should not be drinking black tea. He should have milk and sugar in it. That is her standard. And when the son-in-law is taking black tea, she may, for a day or two, observe, and then she becomes, in a sarcastic manner, comments, and she expresses her anger. What was it? Why anger? Because her desire, understand, her desire for him to have tea with milk and sugar. Instead, he kept on drinking black tea. Now, understand the very critical and crucial point that all the time we say, oh, the tea should not have been there. Whether tea is bad or good, let's not get into it at all. Because we live under the social norm. Society says that, hey, green tea is good, we keep on drinking green tea. Japanese tea is good, we keep on drinking Japanese tea. But you might have been used to drinking from your parental home tea with milk and sugar and some spices. But at that stage, if mother-in-law would have thought that I like tea with milk and sugar, and he might like black tea, so what? So if you have your desire, there's nothing wrong in instinctual desire. But the moment the comparison comes into picture, that desire becomes a big vice. Because now it's not only that she thinks I'm drinking my tea correctly, but he is drinking tea wrongly. That is not the way to drink tea. So, comparison. So it was, during my contemplation, I felt so happy that to have desire is not bad. For example, another example, as we all Sarthi members, we know how beautiful is the belly breathing. Granted, but don't think that the other breathing, whosoever is doing, not doing belly breathing, need to be condemned. And don't think that he is doing wrong or right. But it could have been improved in a very loving and caring manner instead of becoming angry. So, desire on a comparative basis yields to krodha, which is anger. Let me repeat, this is so important point. And this will solve a lot of our conflicting problem. I had a friend of mine, her husband believed in cluttering his office. He and she both happen to be lawyers. But wife is an organized one. Her office will be so neat and clean, anytime you can walk in. But his office will be everything everywhere. So she was becoming so upset and so mad, and she started developing blood pressure and diabetic condition. Then one day she came and said, Swamiji, which pranayam should I do? I said, pranayam? For what? She says, I'm diabetic and I have blood pressure. I said, this is not the disease. This is just the symptoms. Tell me more about it. So a lot of people, and she can very easily say, reason behind me being diabetic and blood pressure is my husband. So just understand now from this example, is it true that her husband is responsible? Or is it herself being the responsible? And throughout this many years of our satsang, we have also heard, if not John, then Jim. If her husband is not cluttering his office, someday his children may be doing so. Or she, being a very high-level practitioner lawyer, she might have hired a maid. And if the maid is not cleaning the house the way she wants it, then the same thing will happen. And her diabetic condition and her blood pressure will continue. So at that time, she will say, no, it's that maid that made me mad. No, it's not maid. So comparative desire, and that is what we all have to work on it. And I thought, what a great point it is. Desire is not bad. So far as we are living the life, some point in time you will be hungry. Some point in time you will feel like sleeping. Some point in time you will feel like drinking water or tea. And again, I'm not saying get into the other compelling vices. But no matter what you do, witnessing and becoming aware that, I start developing my own idealized standard. You can develop it for yourself, but not for others. And even if you develop those idealized standards, but understand, our idealized standard changes time to time and place to place. And that you have seen over the years of time. When the trend came of coffee, then trend came of decaffeinated. Then came the trend of brewed coffee. Then came the trend of freshly ground coffee. Then came the trend of Starbucks and whatnot. So all those changes, our idealized standard changes. Understand what drives you crazy. Understand what makes you dependent. What gives you the blood pressure and what makes you diabetic. Nothing else in the world do that. What it does is our own so-called idealized thinking, but there's no idealism in this case. So summarizing it, key important point is witnessing and analyzing one's own self. And you see where those 6 vices come into practice in your own personal life. Kama, desire; krodha, anger; kama, krodha, lobha, greed; then lobha, moha, attraction; mada, ego; and jealousy. Those 6 are the vices, but then we have to learn to observe. And the very first wise, karma, desire on a comparative basis, it brings one after another. So observe that. Witnessing and no comparative desire. And my journey is my journey, not that of anybody else's. And you be aware of your own journey and not that of somebody else. Ayo, my friend. Let me end this with Purnamidam, and then we'll leave 5 minutes for everybody's input. Oh, Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Ayom Tatsat. Just hang around for a few minutes. Okay. Try not to repeat just to save time, but if you have some serious point of disagreement, let me know. Maheen, do you have anything to say?
Not really, but one comment, and that is that what a beautiful freedom it is to just live your life and do your own things and let other people do the same.
Beautiful. Thank you. Shekhar Raj.
Depth and understanding, we have to keep on contemplating and put it in cruise control.
Okay, Vijay. Let the rest keep your mic off. No, I don't hear you, Vijay. You're muted. No sound. No sound. No sound. All right. Okay, hold on. Now you are muted. Ask to unmute. No, you are using a wrong mic, looks like. Never mind, fix it and we'll get to you. Jayshree.
Oh, I agree with you. Thank you for bringing this up. Sometimes I have to remind myself to get out of anger. I have to think about like something you've said, like Isha Vasha, Isha Vasha idam sarvam, and that helps me, or some sort of, something that we've been studying that helps with getting out of a situation.
Beautiful. I feel I'm sorry that I missed that point of Isha Vasha. Because if Isha is Avisha, if Isha is present in dog, cat, mosquito, plant, naturally in mother-in-law, son-in-law, daughter-in-law, maid, everybody. So if God would have been standing in front of you, and God will not give you prasad, would you be mad at him? No. So why you are choosing to be mad on somebody else? So if we have really understood Isha Vasya Idam Sarvam, those 4 words are so powerful and moving. Excellent point, Jayashree. Meena.
I think we need to just keep quiet if one starts argument. If one person keeps quiet or walk away from that person, it might solve the problem.
No. And let me tell you why. It may solve the problem of not having the conflict between the two, but it will have problem having conflict with your own self. Because you're still thinking why you're walking away. Because she is wrong. We
But
want that thing, nobody wrong and nobody right.
But then it goes into a fight, like argument, you know.
Okay,
So
let me tell you.
somebody has to keep quiet.
Initially, you may walk away,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not walking away from the problem. Problem is with, as I explained earlier, if not John, then Jim.
Oh, okay.
If somebody is making you upset and you're walking away,
Mm-hmm.
anybody can come in and make you upset and then you keep walking away, then you are miserable as ever.
Mm.
Are you with me? Try to argue with yourself and then prove me wrong.
Then you don't hear them, so you just don't have to go any further.
But that particular point will stay in your mind forever.
Uh-huh.
Okay? And the idea is to be free from here, from past, present, and future. Then this is the freedom we are talking about. Liberation, Vaikuntha, heaven. This is what heaven is. Okay? Everybody understand this is such a crucial point. All right. Thank you, Mariben. Krish.
When you were talking about that first example about the man who was angry at his mother-in-law that got angry at himself about getting angry, the first thing I thought about was my inner peace is not negotiable, which you talk about quite a bit.
That's right.
Now, the thing is that you can say that my inner peace is not negotiable, but you're still angry. And even though you're observing your anger, you still are angry. You still have to deal with that. Correct?
Okay, you have to deal with what?
You deal with your anger and your reaction. Your reaction.
So
and so by observing the reaction that you are, I think what you're saying is that by constantly observing your reactions, that you are doing this is a habit that you developed over your lifetime since you've been a child. By constantly observing that, at some point, you'll be able to maybe transcend that and be calm.
God bless you.
Am I right?
Absolutely correct.
Now I can sleep.
Absolutely correct. And this is the true sadhana. This is the true yogic practice. Because you can keep on doing hundreds of hours of meditation, so-called meditation. You can be doing Brahmari Pranayam, do anything. You can have hundreds of retreats. But so far as this thing we are not working on, becoming aware of, this will not stay. So these, you can call it advanced practices. Because it pertains to you and you alone. and you become the sadhak, the contemplator for this aspirant. Naina Ben, you've been thinking too much. Bolo, say it now.
Hari Om. So much to say, so nothing to say.
Yeah, no, you can say. It doesn't matter.
Hari Om.
1 minute, Jayshree, I come to you, but let Naina say something. Yeah, don't feel bad. Here we are friends, we are discussing, that's all.
It's one can try. I'm trying also, remembering every morning Ishavasya Idam Sarvam, and there's 2 sentences every morning I speak to myself. My peace is not negotiable, everything, but still in family, I think sometimes it takes 2. You will not agree with me, but
So you,
one person does 100% negotiation and one person doesn't, then it doesn't work. So, Sonaji, so many times, you know.
everybody, please listen. This is such an important point. Now, one person does 100% and the other person does not do anything. This, your sadhana is not for the other person. This is strictly for you. No matter what he does or she does, okay? You are not affected. That's the point we should be.
I understand, but I am affected as far as the family is concerned. You know, certain things we need to do as a couple together, and we need cooperation.
Cooperation in the manner you want it. That's why the
But
problem.
if that thing is right,
Okay, again, right and wrong, who decides? Let me tell you, spiritual path is not that easy a path, and still is the easiest because it doesn't pertain to anybody else. No matter what he does or she does, you decide not to react, or you decide not to be upset, or his or her room is dirty, who cares? Leave it. Stay in mud.
no, that is true. But certain places we have to go together. Certain places we have to do together.
Okay.
Those things are involved. You know, I don't know how to avoid that.
You cannot avoid it. You went certain places together, and crazy person like me may comment and say, how come your son behaves in this way? So that may hurt you, and as a result, in an anticipation of what Swamiji may react, you are hurting yourself. It's not Swamiji.
Definitely.
So that choice you have, Maribel. And that is the whole point I'm driving today. We have choice. And as Chris said, you know, my inner peace, and you said it right now, your inner peace is non-negotiable. And slowly and slowly it will happen. It's not going to change overnight. Okay? When did we start learning about yoga? Like 50 years? Okay? So, but at the same time, I'm so glad each one of
No,
us.
yeah.
But can I say something?
Hold on for a minute. Let
To
her.
her.
finish. Let her.
I was going to tell her something
Yeah.
to Naina.
Go
Let-
ahead.
No, let
No.
Naina say it. I want her to understand this point. And the point that I was driving was, it will take time. And even if you make 1% improvement, it's an improvement. Like the example I gave you, my friend became second time angry. Of course, that's not right. But what gave me the joy was that he became aware that he became angry. That's the beauty. And later on, now, more and more, he will understand. he may not become angry again, or at least work on it. That's the point. So don't expect 100% to be yogini or yogi. All right, Nainam, I'm sorry I'm disagreeing with you, but
No, I know, but what I say, I try to do whatever you are telling me to do. But sometimes I'm loser. I'm losing it. I cannot handle it.
okay, let me tell you, pat on your back, you are not loser. Even if you gain 1%, but you are a gainer. Let's not ever say we are loser. The sheer point that you are attempting is the victory. That's the joy. I'm not just giving it up. I'm trying it. And who else is crazy like you who attends almost every session? Why you are attending every session?
Yeah, but sometimes I think I'm not gaining anything, you know, because
No.
the situation is so getting sometimes out of control, you know.
Again, you will never have control. You will have mastery only on yourself, because it's not junk. I don't want to wake up now. Yeah, the point is, we are not to change anybody else. And
100%, I agree for that. Yeah.
and even if you became aware that you are not changing, that itself is a victory. That itself is a joy. Okay? So compliment yourself. On your behalf, I cannot beat you.
Thank you.
All right. Jayshree, I'm coming to you, Mahim.
No, but all I was going to say is, I know sometimes we say this slokas of, you know, our inner peace is non-negotiable, but at one point in time, though, we do have to confront what our own desire is, right? Why did we become angry? So we have to identify our own desire that encouraged that anger. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely so.
Okay, so what was that desire in myself that encouraged, that I did not fulfill, that made
Correct.
me angry? Okay.
Absolutely so. It's not whether somebody fulfills or not, but it was your expectation that the other person should also fulfill your desire.
I expected that person to be a certain way or say a certain thing.
And that's what I meant by idealization. Your desire is of the idealization is behind that desire that he or she should behave in a certain manner.
Okay, but what's the step after? Like, say I say, oh, I expected so-and-so to act this way, right? And they didn't.
Okay, so
do I then think like I should never have an expectation of that person?
okay, even if the expectation is there and he or she did not fulfill that, that's fine. It was up to you to expect. If it didn't happen, then treat that as part of the world flow. That's the way the events are taking place, and you have to learn to accept it. That's all. The world flow is so important.
Okay, but but the trick is to not to expect something from somebody else. Is that it?
That is even more desirable.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
But even if you expect, say for example, right now you expect outside not raining. If it rains, expect it and just go move ahead.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Maheen now.
Exactly what I was gonna say is about expectation and understanding and becoming one with this, not just saying it, that this is a single journey. And by that means that the expectations that you have from others, that doesn't make it a single journey, makes it, I'm letting everyone in my journey. So those expectations are gonna make me miserable or happy. Once you understand that this is a single journey, and don't expect other people to do what you want or make you happy or sad, and stand by that. I have done it. I've been pushed about this thing so many times that now, and I got mad and cried and got up, that I decided, you know what? This is my decision. I have to do this. No one can do it for me.
God bless you.
If I have a husband, if I have a brother, if I have a sister in my life, they are another human being, and they are not here to make me happy. And if I can't find the barrier between that and myself and make myself happy, however I can, if that means not getting involved in any sort of behavior or conversation or understanding with other person, even if it's your child, I've come to that conclusion that they have their own right. They have to believe and do and say and whatever they want, whether I think is right or wrong, that is not their problem. So by going and following this, I make myself happy. I free myself from all those things that are hanging on my head. That's the only way. You have got to do it for yourself. No one can do it for you.
Ooh.
Did you like that?
Absolutely. Hey.
You made me like, whoa, because I have my voice back, so I am going to say everything.
Hey. If I would have known earlier you got the voice back, I would have kept shut.
You would mute me probably.
No, but anyway, friends, so lovely, such a good participation and such a good input. So I appreciate every one of you. Very lovely points, and keep on enjoying, and let the path of sadhana be a joyous path and not a burdensome path. Okay? Very important. Don't make yourself miserable. Oh, I'm not behaving. No. Progress.
God bless.
Like my friend, he became mad. So right after discussing with me, he felt so good that even Swamiji says it's good. It's okay. You became angry, you became angry. That's fine. But then what was the reason behind anger? And that could have been justifying with different psycho-emotional reasoning, but that's not what I was referring to. But he witnessed the first anger. That was the key. So, Hari Om, my dear.
Hari Om. Thank you.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.